Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, where today I will be doing a challenge. I will try to visit all the named places on the moon, which are the Sea of Serenity, Sea of Tranquility, Copernicus Crater, Ocean of Storms and the Tycho Crater. I'll be trying to do this in one launch with one rocket. I've obviously already designed a rocket that hopefully will be capable of doing this, and let's see if I can indeed do this. I will skip ahead until I am in moon orbit to not bore you with all the things that go ahead of that. Here I am in orbit, and this is the massive lander that I'm going to use to try to hop across all of these craters. Or well, they're not all craters, but all of these named places on the moon. So I'm now going to slow down from this orbit to land on the first named place, which is the Sea of Serenity. So I'm going to slow down about here. Let's speed it up just a little bit. And I'm gonna make sure that I don't miss it like I just did. So actually, instead of shutting off my engine, I stopped time warping. Well, I should have just shut off my engine, so that wasn't the brightest. But it's fine, because I think I'll have enough fuel anyways. So there is what I actually meant to do. Now let's turn my rocket the way it should be. Wow! I don't know what I've been doing, but instead of just turning the turn left key, which is of course on the bottom of my screen, I actually clicked and held down the time warp button, this one. So you'll see it light up. I actually held down that one because I meant to turn, but oh well. I'm going to time warp a little bit more. This time I actually mean to time warp. I'm going to slow down a bit more when I'm around, I think around like 20 kilometers in height. Because otherwise, when I just time warp to the 5 kilometers in height, it will go really quick and I will just hit the ground without being able to slow down enough. Let's also make sure that I actually land exactly in the Sea of Serenity. It doesn't have to be extremely precise, because it works if you are a bit off as well. But let's try to at least do it cleanly. Let's time warp a bit. And then let's slow down a bit more, at least for my horizontal velocity, because you never need horizontal velocity. Well, except soon when I'm going to actually do the crater hopping, then I am actually going to need it. So I guess what I just said wasn't fully true. But you don't need it during the actual landing. So I'm going to slow down a bit more right now because I'm getting quite close to the surface and I'm still going quite fast. There we go. Let's drop a bit more. It's always a very slow process landing on the moon because you have to be very careful. So how high am I? Yes, very close. I slowed down a lot there just to make sure I didn't hit the ground. And that's a almost perfect landing. And now it will say land on the moon, location Sea of Serenity. So this was our first location. And now I'm going to go across all of these. So I'm first going to go to the Sea of Tranquility, then to Copernicus Crater, Ocean of Storms, and then Tycho Crater. Of course in that order, because otherwise I would have to make distances I wouldn't actually need to make. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift off once again. And I'm going to turn right a lot. And then you'll see my apoapsis goes high very quickly, because it's the moon. So it just does that, because the gravity of the moon is very little. And I'm going to make a arch like this, so that I will be able to land there. I'm going to time warp. And I'm not going to show every single one of these hops that I do, because it costs a lot of time and then the video would be way too long. But I'm going to show at least this one, just so you see how I will do it on the other ones as well. Otherwise you might think I'm faking this or something. And I of course want to prove that I am actually capable of doing this. So now I'm getting close to the second one, and I'm going to slow down a lot once again. because again I need to do this landing very carefully, like so, and I actually did something a bit too careful there. So I didn't need to slow down that much there, and it's actually not very fuel efficient. So I should be careful with not slowing down too much, because as you see I'll speed up again anyways now. So I'll need to slow down once again. And I'm now at 1500 meters, so I don't think I need to slow down just yet. Maybe I will just a little, just to be sure. And then we're at 1000 meters. I think at 500 I need to slow down once again, because then you can actually see the surface and see that we're getting pretty close. 200 meters. Well, not yet. 250 now. 200. 150. 100. And now I won't actually look at it anymore because I need to focus on the actual screen, because that's easier to see. Very smoothly. Yes, now slow down a bit more to get the perfect touchdown. That's beautiful. So now it will say land on the surface of the moon, Sea of Tranquility. And I'm actually a bit off, but if you zoom out a lot, you can see it's not very far off. And it still says that the location of is the Sea of Tranquility, so it's still fine and it still counts. And I'm now going to hop to the other ones, and I will just show the landings of those, because as I said, it will take a long time. So I'll see you in the landings. So here I am at Copernicus crater, and I'm going to land very soon. I'm gonna have to slow down a bit, of course. 50 meters per second, 30. Let's not slow down too much, because that will cost fuel, which I am quite short on already. So I have to be very careful with the use of fuel. I have to be very efficient, otherwise I might not make it. There we go. Slowing down, and touchdown. Alright, so I'm going to slide a bit apparently. But then once the rocket will actually land, it will say landed on the surface of the moon, location Copernicus crater. So now we're moving on to the Oceans of Storms, and then finally to Tycho crater. So I'm now closing in on the Oceans of Storms, and I'm going to have to slow down because I'm already at 500 meters above it. As I said, don't slow down too much because that will make me fail the entire thing. But I do have to slow down a bit more right now because I'm getting close to the surface. And of course I don't want to smash into the surface. Here we go, and then let's slow down a bit more for the final touchdown. And that's touchdown. And it will say land on the surface of the moon, location Oceans of Storms. And now I will go to the final location, which is Tycho crater. And when I've landed there, then I'll have done this entire challenge, and I am quite low on fuel, 10%. But I think I'll make it because I already used a bit to even get to the moon, and then the first landing was the most difficult. So I think I only use about 10% per hop anyways. So I think this will be fine because it's also one of the shortest hops, so it will cost even less fuel. So I'll see you guys in the landing once again. Alright, so as you can see, I am coming up to my last landing of today. And I've still got quite a lot of speed, but I've also got quite a lot of fuel. I've got 3.7% left. So I'm now at 200 meters. I need to make sure I slow down enough. And 50 meters, and slow down even more. And make sure I don't run out of fuel. And there we go. That's the last touchdown. Landed on the surface of the moon. Location Tycho crater. And that was all of the named locations on the moon. Here we can see the full view once again. We've been to Sea of Serenity, Sea of Tranquility, Copernicus crater, Oceans of Storms, and finally Tycho crater, where we are now, and we will be stranded because I've only got 2.4% of fuel left. So I only just barely made it with my fuel. Or should I say, I perfectly made it with my fuel. Of course, I didn't plan it to be exactly this right, but I did plan it to be enough. And in this case, it was indeed enough, as I planned. And well, we did it. I've been to all of the craters, or not craters, once again, I'm saying it wrong. I've been to all of the named locations in one rocket, in one launch. So that was all for today. I've reached my goal. I've completed the challenge, and maybe you will be able to do this one too. I think a lot of you will, with just a bit of commitment. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. And then I hope to see you on the next video. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.